All right, take 3 of trying to play Battlefield 2 on a period correct PC. This time I think I have the right shit, but I'm not sure. Pretty sure, but I was sure last time too. Just like I'm sure of this message. If you're planning your next GPU upgrade, let me save you some time and hassle. Check out Jawa, the #1 marketplace for new and used PC gear. Instead of dealing with sketchy listings or marketplace headaches, Jawa.gg will actually buy your GPU directly. Just head to their site and get an instant quote, and you can get paid through PayPal fast. Use that cash to offset the cost of your new GPU and even pick up a killer deal from one of Jawa's verified sellers. Every listing is manually reviewed and transactions are protected so you're covered start to finish. For instance, check out this listing for an EVGA For the Win 3 Ultra for only $380 sold directly by Jawa's official store. That includes the Jawa buyer protection guaranteeing the item is as described or your money back. So before you toss that old graphics card in the drawer, turn it into cash and upgrade smarter with Jawa.gg, a marketplace built by gamers for gamers. Okay, the segue is, I know, I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it. I gotta put the DVD drive back in. So, that's right, CD drive back in. Quite a few of you commented on the last video asking various things about this bridge board, and I will go ahead and answer those now. So the first and foremost thing people were asking me was, are you sure you set it to master and not slave, even though it's the only device on the IDE line or channel? Sometimes the drives and things can freak out if they're still not jumpered properly. The default jumper on the bridge board is master. So I looked it up. It's got like a A, B, and a C. So A is the middle pin, and then you got B and you got C. So B would be the master and C would be the slave. And they are set up that way. A lot of people also made comments and said, hey, these bridge boards don't tend to do a great job at like optical drives and such, but they tend to do a pretty decent job at hard drives and SSDs because that's just one mode that it has to be in, right? Because the IDE has to identify what is the device, how are we communicating with it, et cetera, et cetera. And whenever you put in a different, like, say I put in a CD and a DVD drive, it's got to kind of switch its mode. Hey, we're a CD drive right now, or hey, we're a DVD drive right now, or hey, we're rewrite right now. So it tends to, I guess, just be better at drives. We'll get to that point eventually. I think when we do our next iteration of update, we'll do the drive, but I'll make sure we have native SATA for that, just for simplicity reason. Although somebody having an era PC like this that wanted to take advantage of new stuff coming out when that IDE was kind of phased out and SATA was kind of the new standard, this would be something you would have to use then, but I think we'll just skip that entirely. You guys have already seen kind of the complications behind that. But what I have here should be what we need to finally get this thing updated. Where the heck is my knife? But this should finally be the stuff we need to get the PC beyond minimum specs. Because you saw when we tried playing Black Hawk Down, that was pretty bad. In fact, when the animation of when I died was so funny. It was just like bleh, on the ground, like belly flopped. But this is 2 sticks of, I thought it was Kingston, but no, it's not Kingston. I forget the brand. This is Infineon, that's right. Infineon was a brand that existed quite a bit back then. This is 2 512 megabyte sticks, PC 2100 UDIM.
No ECC.
Not registered ECC.
Yeah.
Got a stick of that right there. And then this CPU. Look at this packaging. Oh my gosh, I'm so concerned. Oh, he left the pins exposed. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna give seller feedback on that 1000%. Okay, everything's straight. This is not how you pack a CPU. You don't just roll it up in bubble wrap.
Oh my God.
This is a Pentium 4, 2.4 gigahertz, 512 cache, 533 FSB.
Yay!
We talked in the previous video, if you haven't seen it yet, about the nuances of making sure that your CPU is properly paired to your motherboard. How vintage-ish motherboards like this do not auto configure and switch outside of a very specific set of criteria. So for instance, this motherboard, as we already showed, does not operate any CPU with higher than 512K of cache. It's just almost said megabytes. Although 512 megabytes of cache today would still be like bonkers to imagine. But the FSB side of it, the other CPU had 512K and 2.4 gigahertz, but it was an 800 FSB. But because the motherboard and the South Bridge or the North Bridge cannot it can't ratio up to 800, it drops it down to 400, which also cut our CPU speed from 2.4 to 1.2. Now this is a 1.6 gigahertz CPU. We kept calling it 1.4 in the previous video, that's my bad. But we are going from 1.6 now to 2.4 on a single core, which should absolutely be significant because we're also doubling the cache. We're going from 256K cache in this CPU to 512. So we're getting almost an entire gigahertz of speed improvement. We are doubling the cache. So first I'm gonna switch the DVD drive out real quick, then I'm gonna leave the CPU in and I'm just gonna drop in the RAM. I have to take out the 256 because there is only 2 sticks in this channel, single channel of RAM, there's only 2 DIMM slots. And I wanna see what happens to our boot time. I expect it to potentially improve. All right, out with the old and in with the new. I love the chunkiness of these old sockets because the pins are so much, like look at the size of the pins. Like to me, they look thicker. It's nice. No denying that that is seated now. Okay, so all I did was update the RAM. The RAM is now, well, it went from 256 to 1 gig. So we now have 4 times the amount of RAM. I'll put this back on just because it triggers me not having it on. Do you know how many times like old PCs of mine didn't have a front face because of how much I was changing crap around? Like it was just a steel box like this.
I'll put it on when I'm done changing stuff around in it.
Yeah, and then you just leave it. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like, let's make sure it's showing up. Yeah, there it is. CD drive, imagine that. And if I throw a CD in there, it should be able to read the contents and not give me a blank, nothing's in there.
Actually, check Nick's disc on Battlefield 2.
So Nick also owns Battlefield 2, and his disc 1 is not as wrecked as my burned version of it. Before we even get to this though, we will be trying out Black Hawk Down again, just to see if that improved. All right, here we go, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, I don't know, that's slower. It's gonna be inconsistent, right? That's fine. This is not a Gamer's Nexus level of analysis. Stop watching, pushing buttons. 1, 2, 3. I mean, the RAM will help, but I still think obviously the CPU will be the biggest, because it's gonna be quite literally a linear improvement in speed, because it's 1 core. I remember the fastest I ever got, like my E6300, which was overclocked to 3.42 gigahertz its entire life, posted in 17 seconds. Okay, well, clearly we're not, 45. Oh, it's still, whatever. Okay, essentially unchanged. All right, so we're gonna try Black Hawk Down right now with just the RAM upgrade to see if that gave us better performance in the game. If you recall, the FPS was suboptimal. And as I would turn, it would like have these huge hiccups, or hitches and pauses and stuff, and that's because of system RAM, not even the GPU. The GPU far exceeds like what was necessary for it to run. But our system RAM and our CPU were at like the bare minimum. It's crazy, it's actually, wow. This is why the joke about downloading RAM. So I'm curious if this will improve. It's a bit choppy on the. Wow, look, I'm actually like making progress.
Because you can understand what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do it with a... Okay. Let's go right to installing Battlefield 2. Okay, I'll do that first. Let's just make sure we can even get that to work. It's so loud. Okay, that's good enough.
Welcome to duty.
Welcome to duty. Starting single player. That's it? Just that quick? We're in the game? I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember this looking so much better. It's okay though, it's not terrible. Like it's... It's actually... Oh wait, I want that tank. Okay, I should probably be in a vehicle to catch up, huh? Oh my gosh. Okay, I made the sensitivity Look at that.
What?
I'm getting ran over by a friendly. I need a ride. Okay, I was able to look around and now I can't. Oh my god, it's like impossible to aim right now. I also feel like the graphics settings are really low. I think the CPU is definitely bottlenecking.
Hostile armor sighted. Over.
We can go right to the CPU because that's not a RAM problem. Look, we still have plenty of RAM to where Windows was still in it. So, okay. CPU time. All right, the 2.4 is installed and it is working. So let's do a new timed boot. Probably won't be any different, to be honest. It's not a very scientific method. I mean, who knows what stuff's loading in the background when Windows is starting up, right? And we've been adding some programs and things, so. That hourglass though. It's like the slowest test so far. But there we are right there. 1 GB of RAM, 2.4 gigahertz, Pentium 4. So this is a pretty significant update. Now maybe it won't feel like the GPU is being bottlenecked. So let's go ahead and let's just go right back to Battlefield 2. Okay, I'm not gonna change any of this. I'll leave it 800 by 600 low because that's where it was. Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay, that was 1000% CPU bottleneck.
Holy crap, that's crazy.
Look how good this is running now. Oh, I saw a tank right there.
Nice.
That's right, right click is secondary gun on this. Dude, it's so smooth now. Like I can actually play the game. Holy crap. Oh crap. The explosion into little bits.
It's like a little tiny firecracker.
Okay, truly night and day difference. Holy crap. I did not expect this. So, okay, let's talk about the series real quick. The series goal was to play Battlefield 2. And I spent more money than I really wanted to do it, but we did it. We're there. And now I can just play around with the settings and see how much graphical intensity we can apply. But now the new benchmark, I don't have it out, is Crysis. So that, shut up!
Capital E, capital A, capital Sports.
So that means before we get there, we have to now try it with this system. This is now our system baseline for Crysis. And I'm really curious as to how this will run it. It will be terrible. But now let's see what happens here. So video, 1280 by 1024, 75 hertz. Let's do it. And then terrain, we'll just go high on everything. Anti-aliasing off. I'll go 2x. That's really hard on these GPUs, by the way. Okay, we lost some FPS. Definitely not as smooth. It's probably the anti-aliasing alone, but at this resolution, it doesn't look great.
Press your enter vehicle key.
Yeah, it's definitely more cinematic looking now in terms of like the FPS. Still playable though, where before it was absolutely unplayable.
Hostiles on the ground.
I love how he was retreating.
Ah! He was trying to knife me. I like how my teammate just watched him run up to me with his knife out. Why do I have a silencer? It's war. Okay, Battlefield 2.
Success.
Success. Do we even have the space to load Crysis? So one thing I kind of want to try for the moment is I want to see if using the bridge board and the SSD on the slave will allow us to at least use this drive. If so, then I guess we could go through the effort of installing XP on it and then just having a fast SSD that's 1 terabyte. So we can try that, but I want to see if the bridge board works this way.
Well, maybe this time.
No. So we keep getting this Windows was unable to complete the format when we're trying to format the Kingston drive with the board. A lot of you guys said that these are usually fine with drives, but not with optical drives. But it's being interesting because if I tell it to start the format with a non-quick format, it starts to go, but for some reason the quick format seems to fail. So let me try maybe from not doing it within the tool or the drive like launcher. Let me do right click, manage, disk management, perform quick format. It's gonna be the same thing. Or it worked. Sure.
All right, install it before it changes its mind.
Oh yeah, quick. This game came out in 2007, by the way. This PC is from 01. So granted, I updated some hardware in it. It's realistically out of date. Hey, this one will go 1080 because, you know, cool. Advanced. Low, 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 low. It's surprisingly better than I thought it would be, but remember, we are on low, 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 low. Oh. Loading.
Oh, that's probably the RAM right there.
We moved one frame.
Oh my god.
Is it back?
Switches are offline. Let me run a quick diagnostic.
The movement is crackling the audio. Okay, let's go 720p real quick.
I'm gonna try to recalibrate.
Let's go 720p real quick and see. It shouldn't need a restart for this. The sound is so...
Jeez.
Okay. It's a little... It sounds so
How did
bad.
the sound get that messed up? But,
Oh.
oh, Jesus.
Okay. It's a little better than I was expecting, though, still, to be honest. I'm just trying to get farther ahead to where it's daytime. Okay, here's the overlook right here. Dude, things are loading in right in front of me. Oh my god, the binoculars.
I see a large.
Okay. Let's just see what happens. I clicked it a while ago. Okay, that's where we're gonna end this one. We've got our new target. It's Crysis. So where we ended was obviously the Intel Pentium 4 2.4 gigahertz 512K cache, 533 front side bus on the Intel D845 GBV motherboard, and 1 gigabyte of the Inotech or whatever brand, I can't remember what it's called. We are at the minimum requirements for Crysis with the exception of the CPU. Its minimum requirement is a 2.8 gigahertz, we're at 2.4. Now we started with the 1.6 gigahertz Pentium 4 256K cache. I thought I saw something happen. 533 FSB. So we jumped up quite a bit on the, doubled the cache and nearly a gigahertz. We had 800 megahertz faster CPU clock from 256 DDR PC 2100 266 megahertz RAM to 1 gigabyte, so 2 512 sticks. Obviously we had no graphics card. Found on eBay and purchased this AGP EVGA, which is, I wanted it just for that reason alone, but it's an EVGA 6800 GT, which cost me $180, which really sucks. I want to know the truth, but $180. And then I bought the DVD drive and stuff, which we'll use in the next system we're gonna build. But then right now, obviously, we're running the game off this 1 terabyte drive, which is a SATA drive. We'll use that in the next setup. So for the next setup, I think what I'm gonna do, Phil has a...
Yo, one frame.
Oh yeah.
Moved. We've got one frame in 3 minutes.
I think for the next system, Phil has a Core 2 Quad Q9600.
Or 94. 96 or 94, one of those.
Either way, it was like the middle range of the Core 2 Quad of the last generation of the Core 2 Quad before they moved on to like the E2600, E2500, all that sort of stuff. So, wow, okay. Oh, that's...
Oh, your control delete finally loaded?
Yeah.
Oh no, it crashed. It fully crashed.
Well, no, I alt F4'd. Anyway, as I was starting to say, I want to move to the Core 2 Quad era. We're going to go to the last Core 2 Quad that existed before the Sandy Bridge era. And then I'm going to need a new motherboard for that. The new motherboard should have SATA, because SATA came out around the time this system was first built. So now I'll be able to natively run the drives and this DVD and all that stuff, so no weirdness. I think it's DDR2 that it runs on, so I'm gonna have to buy some DDR2 and a new graphics card. And I think this hard drive will be fine. So I'm gonna shoot for either like an 8800 Ultra, like GTX 8800 Ultra, or maybe like a GTX 285. Or if I want to get really crazy, maybe I can find a 295 dual GPU. Because that would be cool. So I think that's the next era we're going to try and jump to try and master Crysis. Because Crysis does work with SLI, and that's essentially what a dual GPU card is. I have a feeling to find these parts is actually going to cost a pretty penny. Like, I feel like I'm going to be spending north of $1,000 to get these parts. Because if they're in working order, that's the hard part. So Battlefield 2, success. Crysis,
technically yes.
Technically yes, if you're willing to just deal with the crazy lag spikes in low. But obviously, this is Can It Run Crysis. Like, this is a new series now, Can It Run Crysis. Literally. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And if you maybe have any of these parts I just suggested, please reach out to me, jcsense@gmail.com. I'll be interested in buying it off you if it works. Okay, thanks. We'll see you guys in the next one.